here we go again. Hi gang, it's the Joker comedy live news live comedy show. And look, we had a look at PB the other day, we had a look at ND, we didn't get to have a look at our Hollywood star because they ended up in rehab. That's okay, that's pretty normal for those people. But look, tonight we've got two very special guests. Two! We went from one, now we've got two. Hi, how you going? Okay, now the reason we've got two is we've been following the Olympic stuff very closely. And some pretty funny things have been happening, right? They've got this torch with a bit of flame on it, and what's going on with it, okay? Guards to use bodies to protect the flame. Chinese guards will use their bodies to protect the Olympic flame from protesters in Canberra, China's ambassador to Australia says. Prime Minister Kevin Rudd has repeatedly said the blue track-suited staff travelling with the Beijing Games flame will play no role in security during Thursday's torch relay in Canberra. Well look, first guest tonight, we've actually got Kevin Rudd right here with us now live. Come on over, Kevin, say hello to the fans. That's it, move over here. Good stuff, Kevin. How's that bra? Does it fit alright? Oh, sorry, mate. Anyway, look, moving along, I'm just going to ask you a couple of quick questions. Look, obviously, as you're saying, we're only going to have our security doing it, and the Beijing security will play no role, as you said. And look, their role is to make sure that the flame doesn't go out. That's a pretty ridiculous sort of comment, I believe, because what if it's windy? Look, anyway, moving along, my main concern and first question, Kevin, is how important is this flame? Like, you know, people are putting their bodies at risk. Here's a pretty interesting question. Are those tracksuits that they're wearing, are they actually fireproof? Reason being, unless we've got the fire brigade on board, if they have to block the flame with or use their bodies to protect it, what if one of them actually catches alight? Could we then use him as the new flame and carry him onwards to the games? Or do you think he'd burn out before then? Look, have you got any comments so far, Kevin? Because it seems pretty bloody ridiculous that we've got the AFP, Australian Federal Police, involved in carrying in the security of a flame. I mean, for God's sake, what is going on? You know what I mean? I mean, isn't there more important things for the AFP to be doing than, you know, worrying about a little flame, for God's sake? I know the Olympics are important, like nobody really cares anymore. But, you know, more than half the city's 700 plus strong police force will be on duty to protect the flame. Do you think that's a little insane? Could you give me a comment on that? Okay, usual routine. No comment. Very smart move, Mr. Rudd, no comment. Then, of course, you can't put yourself in a position of putting your foot in your mouth, so to speak. 700 police. Isn't this insane? 700 plus strong police force on duty. The high-level security operation follows protests about China's Human Rights Act. Actions. Now here's a little bit of a funny thing. Look, one Australian flame runner on Tuesday pulled out of the event because of her concerns about the fact that she was too overweight. Sorry, about China's actions, my apologies. If it had been an overweight issue, she would have obviously run because she could have lost some weight. Look, Kevin, have you got any comments about that at all? President of the Australian Council of Social Service, Lynn Hatfield-Dodds, said her decision to withdraw was difficult. How the friggin' hell would Lynn Hatfield-Dodds know that it was difficult? And because of that, I felt that meaning of the running in the torch relay has shifted. For a lot of people, it still carries meaning of harmony, but for an increasing number of global community, it's carrying a lot of meaning around the human rights. Alrighty, moving along. Alright, thanks Kevin for your lack of commitment there, but for your insights, it's really good to have had you on board. Look, I've now got John Coates. John Coates has come on board. Look, I understand, Kevin, that you've got to go and do more important things like set up another 2020 or a 40-40 this time maybe, I'm not sure. But anyway, we'll leave you with that, and we'll talk to you next time. Thanks, Kevin. Round of applause for Kevin. See you next time, Kevin. Now look, over here on the left we have Mr. John. That's it, John. How are you, buddy? Just hop over there. A little bit more, John. That's it. Just a little bit more of your head there, John. Got a bit of a head problem happening. Now this is John Coates. He's the I don't know what he is actually. He's the committee president. Now what do you think about all this, John, concerning flames and violence, and what do you think about all that? What do you think about the guards using their bodies to protect it? What do you think about that, John? Look, I know you haven't got much to say on the issue because really the insanity of it speaks for itself. I know your name's in there somewhere because you are pretty important. There we go. The torch will be flown into a RAF base on the outskirts of Canberra to be met by the ACT Chief Minister John Stanhope and the Australian Olympic Committee President John Coates. Now, details of where it will be kept ahead of Thursday's tour of Canberra were not made available by the organisers because of security. Now, barricades have been set up along the Canberra route in a bid to keep both pro and anti-China protesters at bay. What do you think about that, John? Keeping them at bay? Keeping them in a bay, maybe? I don't know. What do you think about those uniforms? Do you think they're flammable proof and they won't go up in front of those poor little Beijing hoo-flung dun chaps have to protect the flame with their bodies? And are they covered by Burns insurance? Here's another good point too. Can you stop looking over there, please? Thank you. So look, moving along, what do you think about all of this, John? Yeah, exactly. That's the sentiment of most of the people from the poll we did. Bloody mindless. 63% of Australians said, what a load of garbage. Protecting a flame. Get a bloody life, will you? Excuse me, face the front. Thank you very much. Don't be moving, John, when I'm talking. That's very poor manners. Well, look, it's a pleasure to have had you with us today, as it was Kevin. And thanks for sharing your comments about nothing on nothing. And let's move along and get a new life, shall we? Find something more interesting to talk about. Alrighty, well, what we'll do is we'll cover today's quote. Look, it's been great having you on board, John, and thanks very much, and we'll see you next time, buddy. See you later, thanks very much, goodbye. Alrighty, and that's over and out from the Joker, and what we'll now do is we'll give you today's quote, which will appear in words because I'm illiterate. No, sorry, because I can't remember the bloody quote actually. Actually, that's not true. I will find the quote. Just give me 14 seconds. Where is the quote? Mate, John, where's the quote, man? Shh. Where is the quote? Okay, here we go. Here's the quote. I found it. Now, this quote is quite funny, right? Considering all the rubbish, you know, concerning Tibet, and I mean, that's serious stuff, I understand that, but concerning the stupidity of the torch, quote of the day: we are here on earth to do good to others. What the others are here for, I don't know. I find that quite funny, actually. We are here on earth to do good to others. What the others are here for, I don't know. Anyway, look, this is over and out from the Joker News Live Comedy Show. Thanks very much for your time. We'll talk to you soon. Good night.